All I had to do was follow his trail of fluff up the stairs.
I know, it's so funny.
I'm Ivy Murphy, and I am a product specialist at Linear.
Is your computer making a ding?
No. I've connected with this customer who has given context that when they are drafting a new comment within a Linear issue, for example, it's not so evident to them on an initial glance that their comment is actually in a draft state versus a published state. Here's a customer report, and I'm quoting it, so Linear knows that this is coming from one of our users. And I'm gonna say, to Linear, I kind of want to understand context around changes we've made to our comment field, like specifically when it's in a draft state. I also want to say, have other customers raised this same feedback historically? Give me any context that helps kind of influence the history of this product area. And I'm gonna take this screenshot, I'm gonna copy it in. This is gonna give me really nice context about why the team has chosen to design it this way. So that way I can let the customer know the history here. I can root it in our own team's decision making. If there is a gap there and I see that other customers are also raising the same feedback, it gives me more data to advocate for a change here. This gives me the whole history. This nutshell report is highly credible, historically repeated, and points at a real UX gap rather than user error. It's giving me validation too from the customer's behalf. This context is now a historical snapshot. All of this conversation data will persist, and I can continue iterating and understanding, which is pretty cool. Now I have data for what we should do. I could extend that prompt to say, and also, if valid, go ahead and file the feature request. This is now kind of a hands-free operation. I haven't had to do any of the manual overhead to get there.
Yes, we're happy with the full belly. We're happy with the full belly.
Okay, cool. As part of new feature launches, I can utilize Linear to give me kind of a feature overview, and I can tell it to create a new Linear document as part of our working project for this feature. Let's use Linear's agentic functionality as an example. I prompted Linear to create documentation to kind of support new customers onboarding to this feature. And I talked through what I need, a feature map of what exists. I need it in a language and style that helps translate this to a public document, for example. I talked through and enumerated the things that are really important to me. So from that prompt, this is the document that I could serve to those working teams. And you can see not only have we talked through and collaborated in the document with other folks on this project, but we've actually also utilized Linear to clarify behavior, to create Linear issues for missing functionality. So we can do that directly in comments. So Linear is not only collaborating privately with me in this specific chat, it's also collaborating publicly as folks jump into this first documentation draft, which is a really, really cool concept. So now that I have this kind of working documentation, we understand how the product looks and how it behaves, I can take this and think about internal usage as well. Based on this context, can you build some CX-specific internal macros for frequent questions we might anticipate from our customers? And what Linear kind of produces is customer-facing ideas and language that I can formalize as repeatable macros that help us answer questions much faster for customers with really well-prepared language. We're reducing overhead and moving in higher velocity on the team. It's great. So I can help more customers, I can have less touch points, and I can do that faster. I think this is an important, though, moment where I am now a human who gets to connect with that customer again and tell them the good news. None of this automation sacrifices that kind of human connection and our like high quality response to our customer. We value that on the CX team like deeply. But what that does is just power a higher volume of that, more Ivies getting to answer more customers.
The world needs more Ivies. It needs more all of us.
And Leo's excited about it too.
Yay!
Okay, my love.
Hi.